This is part 2 of Wednesday's Bryce's Wednesday trade reviews. This is the futures section, and yeah, options was green this morning. Wasn't very good. Was pretty stressed out I was really stressed out in the morning on options. Looking back on it, I think the performance was fine. I think it made sense. I think the trades were fine, so it wasn't that big of a deal. Futures though was a major pain in the ass. Very, very, very hard day for me. The hardest day on futures psychologically that I've had in a while. Not nearly the reddest day I've had in a while. I kept my losses pretty small. The stop losses were pretty good. Um, but I didn't have a single green trade today on futures. Not one singular trade. Now, I usually start futures exactly 1 hour after market open, but I decided to stick around and catch a smooth on options. But unfortunately, that put me right here with my futures trading. Now, I didn't know that Powell was talking today. Looking back on it, that's why the price action freaking sucked. But I wouldn't have traded any different if I knew that. But here's where we were. NQ was strong at all-time highs. There's really nothing I can do when the market's trending. The best you can do is wait for the best you can do to make trades where the probability is in your favor is identify a trend. Okay, it's clearly an uptrend. Wait for bullish consolidation. In this case, it's an uptrend. And enter on bullish consolidation and hope it kind of continues. Well, that's what I did. And I ended up entering longs on this candle. I'm confirmed in. This is a valid bullpen on NQ. Invalidated pretty much all that drop. So I took longs here. Here's my stop loss, pretty much as close as I can get it. Actually, I don't think it was that close. I think it was a little further away. Let me check. If it wasn't that close, that is something that I should have done. Let me see. 47 minus, I think it might have been a little bit. No, it was that close. Okay, good. So my stop loss was this close. Now, as far as finding the PT, there's a few things I can do. I could do fib extensions. I can do first leg consolidation, second leg. That's what I end up doing. So what I did is I was very conservative. This is the first leg, okay? First leg, consolidation, second leg. Well, that was too aggressive for me. So what I did is I just take the length of this first leg, slapped it on top of here. So this is the bottom. Boom, here's my PT. It's up here. That seems a little high though. My PT, I feel like, was lower than that. I feel like it was like right here. Why was my PT that high? You know what? I think I just took it to this high here. I was very conservative with my PT. I think this was it. No, it might have been that high. I don't really remember. Obviously, I don't have my PT documented in my notes, but I felt like it was this high. Whatever. Anyways, my PT was somewhere up here. Okay. It's based on the first leg. It's really all I can do, you know? That stopped out immediately. I'm like, okay, oh, the second PT was a closer one. That's where the first PT was. Anyway, so that stopped out in a candle and a half. I'm like, well, there goes that trade. 0-1. Starting off. I did say, though, I'm going to have to hop back in if it goes back up. As far as the stop loss, it was a good stop loss. I mean, the only way my stop loss wouldn't have been swept is if the stop loss was all the way down here, and I'm not willing to take a loss that big, and that completely screws up the risk to award. Stop loss saved me money, even though, as you guys may know, it went right back up right after. Not right after. Waited for a majority of the move to invalidate, waited for a majority of the drop to invalidate, and boom, entered on this candle. Confirmed in. NQ is currently stronger than ES. ES retraced more than NQ did. Traced more than just about 40% of the run from this low. From this low on NQ, well, it only retraced about 23.6%, I believe is what it was. Yep. NQ was stronger. I liked the flag more. You know, here's the flag, which is technically a descending broadening wedge, but who cares? Looked good. Good trade. And I put my stop loss here. Bottom of this candle. And as far as the PT goes, I remember it vividly. It was here. And same kind of PT. You know, I didn't even go for the entire first leg, just the second half of it. And I believe I took it from here. There you go. It's my PT. Very conservative. I mean, just the width of the bull flag brings me to that PT. Very good PT, very good trade. Beautiful. Love it. And NQ has been stronger than ES. As you can see, it's invalidated the 847 candle. I know the text is really small on this because my resolution is really high and I have a really big screen. So you guys can't really see the bottom, but 847 on ES did not even invalidate that candle. So NQ was stronger at the time of entry. Oh shit, NQ is flipped weaker. And that's the story of this trade. Right after I enter, it flipped weaker. And now you can watch ES go up and NQ not move a damn muscle. Now NQ started going up. I had some hope. Nope. So that's what NQ did. Fast forward about 20 minutes. I'm still in this trade. What is this? I entered at 58, so not quite 20 minutes yet. 15 minutes, still in this trade. Looks like it's going to stop out. And you know what really hurt my psychology on this trade? Right at the close of this candle and at the start of the next candle, I told you guys, I think I'm going to stop out at break even. Compare the charts. I am getting robbed by NQ. ES has been weaker like all day. And now NQ doesn't want to go up anymore. If they were similar strengths, NQ would have been at my PT by now. But now I'm very concerned that ES is going up. NQ is not. And what's extra bearish is ES has a rising wedge. A bearish rising wedge on ES, which is indicative of potential incoming downside. And NQ NQ's going down anyways. Even while ES is going up, NQ's going down. Imagine what's going to happen to NQ when ES pulls back even a little bit. It's not good. So right at the end of this candle, I said I'm going to stop out at break even. This candle happens. I never get the chance to stop out at break even. I was about 10 seconds too late to placing my order. And another thing I said on this candle is I said, this is a fantastic short trade. I mean, look at it. ES has swept higher highs. It's got a clean rising wedge. NQ is way weaker than ES. No doubt in my mind, NQ at least gets to this low, at the minimum. And what I'm really hoping for is NQ can somehow miraculously bounce and stop me out at break even so I can enter, or NQ can sweep my stop loss and bounce so I can enter on a head and shoulders. But exactly what I told you guys is that's probably not going to happen. It's probably going to go right through my stop loss and hit this area, and I'm going to miss out on the trade. Told you guys it was going to happen. I was pretty annoyed because I knew it was very likely to happen. Obviously, I'm good at trading. I know probabilities. It was very likely to happen. And sure enough, that's kind of what happened. So anyways, I get this candle on NQ. Look at this. ES is at new. ES just got a new high of day. Look how weak NQ was. This was like the easiest trade ever. And now there's that hourly demand. Bree. Yeah, there it is. See? I don't know where it went. It was on vacation while I was in voice. But anyways, so it ended up getting there. And I stopped out. Is this even right? Yes, it is. So I stopped out on this candle. Annoying green to red trade. It's whatever. But then I entered a bit early. We got a bounce. Once this bounce invalidates, I will be in shorts, and I entered here. So I entered shorts here. I had some signs of psychological deterioration because my stop loss was delayed. So this is the first thing in my notes that kind of deteriorated my psychology. Look how close my stop loss is, though. I'm willing to put it that close. Now, as far as PT, I can't go for this first PT. It's way too close. Yes, it's a 1-to-1 risk to award, but this would be by far my smallest win I've taken pretty much all year. I can't take a win this small. It screws up my ratio. I do have a really solid pivot here and demand that it's pretty likely to hit. And for me, it's like, okay, this is a pretty good size rising wedge on ES. Even if I take the most conservative width possible from it, I mean, that still gets me to this low. But hell, I'm thinking with how weak NQ's been, even if ES just gets to this low, which I think it's at least going to pull back to this low, NQ should get to my price target. Well, fast forward, and NQ is not quite as weak as I like. It starts trying to flip strong. Exhibit A, this candle. NQ barely just made a lower low, and ES clearly broke this rising wedge to the downside with bearish volume. NQ's not moving. Got scammed. So obviously, I'm starting to get annoyed. Not like visibly annoyed, but like in my head, this is starting to piss me off because I'm like, oh, good lord, here we go again, right? Well, it does end up coming down. NQ flips weak again. And we bounce, and I'm like, you know, there's a good case to stop out at break even here. And I think my break even was right here. It was like right here. I didn't stop out at break even though, because I told you guys that NQ, this is not a proper high of day setup on NQ. Sorry, ES. Not a proper high of day setup. We have five candles topped out at the same level, and we just perfect double top. I'm bullish for ES to break high of day. However, there's too high of a chance of it sweeping high day of coming back down for me to stop this trade early. So I continue waiting. Looks good. Oh shit. NQ just made another lower low with a buying wick. That's bullish. However, this candle opened bearish. But when I saw this, I said, I really hope NQ doesn't make another lower low because that's going to be it. But then I predicted that ES was at least going to sweep this low. And surely by the time ES gets to this low, NQ, as long as it doesn't flip strong on me, should get to this low. And which is going to be beautiful. I have it all laid out because if NQ sweeps this low, I'm going to be able to enter ES long right here for high of day. That's the plan. That's the plan I want to roll with right now. So that's what I'm looking for. Oh shit, NQ did it. NQ got another lower low with a buying wick. I predicted that it was so likely to bounce. And then it did it again. And I'm just like, oh no. Because look, ES just swept that lower low too. So ES is now set up to bounce. Still hold the trade. And unfortunately, I was not surprised. So my mood started deteriorating rapidly when I saw this buying wick because I knew what was very likely to happen. And sure enough, it was playing out. Well, I ended up stopping out. You know, I wasn't really able to stop out at break even. I mean, I could have looking back on it, but I just decided to let the trade play out. So ended up stopping out. So that's 0-3 right now. That is 0-3. And I have pretty much one more trade. I have two more trade setups. This is a great level on NQ. I am bearish for this to break. However, we've invalidated pretty much most of this bet. We've invalidated a majority of this drop. If NQ shows me signs of bullish consolidation, I would like to take NQ longs because look, now NQ is stronger than ES, and ES has a perfect triple top. Very bullish for ES to break high of day. I really couldn't be more bullish. I entered NQ longs on this candle. I know the end of this trade and the beginning of this trade are pretty close together for how long I sat in that trade. Doesn't seem so bad on replay, but guys, I sat in that freaking trade for an entire 33 minutes. Bright green to red trade. Missed my PT by 1 point on NQ, which is a very small amount. But whatever, I gave this trade a chance, but then I said, you know what, this trade is probably going to be it for me. My psych was very deteriorated. Wasn't really feeling it. What do I have in my notes here? Like, my psych started deteriorating on this one because I was hesitant to put my stop loss because I thought about averaging down because I was so confident that I was going to continue down. Obviously, when I'm confident the market's going to do something, most of the time it does it because I'm good at TA. But if I average down because I'm confident of something, that exposes myself to massive risk. Even if I'm correct 90% of the time, yes, I'll grow my accounts rapidly, but they will always go back to zero every time. Because even if you're right 90% of the time, if you expose yourself to the risk of blowing up your account, it's statistically guaranteed that that 10% is going to come for you. That 10% of the time that you're wrong, and it's going to blow up your account. It's just a game of how long will it take for the low probability outcome to play out. And when it does play out, it'll ruin you. So that was big evidence of my psychology deteriorating there. I felt the desire to not put a stop loss because if it bounced, I wanted to average down because it looked like a potential head and shoulders. And frankly, my psych was just bad. I didn't really put my stop loss until it started moving my direction. Wasn't really feeling it today. Really wasn't feeling it today. But anyways, this was my last trade. I did put, I recovered my psychology, put my stop loss right away. PT was pre-market high. Great PT. We started dropping, but I was still bullish. Powell was talking in about an hour and 40 minutes. So I still had plenty of time before Powell talked. Thought this trade had a decent chance to play out. Really just looking for ES new high of day. And sat there chopping. NQ's trying to flip weak again. I'm like, well, we may go 0-4 here. But then we started breaking to the upside. I'm like, okay, we're starting to move the right direction. This looks like a cup and handle. This is a good trade, by the way. Every single trade today was good. It's just the psychology during this trade was not good. Plus, I was also hesitant to alert that trade. Whenever I'm hesitant to alert an entry, that means my psychology is bad because I don't want to lose again or for you guys to lose again. But started looking like it was going to go the right direction. Started looking good. Bam. And I'm like, well, that's it. I'm done. I threw in the towel because my psychology, man, I was ready to open the gates of hell on my account because I was ready to start trading some because I could have made money today if I wanted to because I knew what was likely to happen. All I need to do is just trade candle by candle, up my leverage a little bit, and just sell before my PTs. But bad psychology. I try to keep my futures trading as mechanical as humanly possible. And I knew at this point I was just freaking fed up. I was annoyed. I wasn't like visibly emotional or anything, but I was just sick of this BS. And I knew that if I continue trading, by the way, my time limit's pretty much up. That's the 2-hour limit right there. 10 more minutes and I'm out of time. I give myself 2 hours to trade futures every day now. If I go over that, I'm technically breaking my rules. And if I trade right now in the emotional state of mind that I'm in, I am reinforcing that action. I am telling myself and training myself that it's okay to continue trading if you've gotten really unlucky. If you're confident the market's going to do something and you've been super unlucky, it's okay to continue trading. That's what I'm training myself to do. I am training myself to not accept my outcomes. I'm no longer in an elevated state of mind. I should not be trading no matter what happened. But I wasn't done just yet. No, I did not place another trade, but I sat with you guys for a few more minutes. And on this candle right here, I told you guys, and I quote, damn, I really, really, really want to enter NQ long right now, like 4x leverage. Because I knew damn well, I'm like, there it is. Massive volume spike was a perfect bear trap, turned into bullish liquidity sweep. Looks great to run, is what I said. Looks great to run to new high of day. But I didn't give in to the temptation because any money that I'd make back is not worth the catastrophic consequences of reinforcing bad psychology. You cannot train yourself to just not accept your outcomes and continue trading when it's hard. Obviously this is a very abnormal day for me. Most days aren't nearly as bad as this day was. And keep in mind, what the dollar amount that I was down today is less than the dollar amount that I was green yesterday. So I gave back less than 1 day of profits. On average, I gave back like an average day of profits. So it's really not a big deal. But we don't really think like that. We don't think logically when we're getting slapped around by the market because we're no longer in an elevated state of mind. But anyways, I really wanted to enter long right here. And of course, it started shooting up. And I'm like, okay, I need to leave. I need to run away. And that's kind of why you guys didn't hear from me after this. You guys didn't hear from me for about an hour or so. Because if I sat in front of my screen, I'd want to enter. Well, you know what ended up happening? It did continue up. But it ended up missing high of day and plummeting back down. And I made sure to write in my journal if I gave into that temptation, because I certainly wasn't going to give in here. I was most tempted to give in here. Are you going to let me draw or what? I was most tempted to give in here. My P2 would have been new high of day. And then what? Would I be stopping out for a big loss? Would I be looking to average down again? Well, if I was undisciplined and plus, how would I be willing to sell a long trade when ES has now made a quadruple top? When was the last time you've seen ES top out like this? It's been forever. Obvious it's going to break, right? If I was not disciplined enough to follow my rules that time, do you think I would just magically become more disciplined right now and stop out of this trade? Probably not, right? I'm no different than you guys that know how human psychology works, right? No. That would be exposing myself to even more massive risk. And there's a good chance that, yeah, I absolutely could have blown my account. Probably not, though. I mean, it did end up coming back up. But you know what it did? It missed high of day again. And it consolidated for a bit. Regardless of what would have happened, no matter what happened, sure, I probably could have made my money back, right? If I took a huge loss right here. But the point is, if I gave into that temptation, I would have taken a massive loss, and now I'd be in try to recoup my account mode while my psychology deteriorated. You guys know just as well as anyone else how that usually goes. Not only that, it's a lose-lose situation. I'm exposing myself to the opportunity of blowing some of my PA accounts. And maybe I do. I mean, I'd say there's probably a 70-80% chance. Statistically speaking, there's probably an 80% chance that I would, right? But even if I did make that money back, horrendous psychological reinforcement. Because now I'm rewarded for acting the way that I did. Rewarded for not accepting the unfortunate outcomes that I needed to accept. And as a result, force myself to make money back and not leave the computer, not stop trading until the results were acceptable. Either less of a loss or a green, whatever it takes to soften the pain. And as you guys know from the psychological reinforcement lesson, that is horrendous for your long-term progress. It's just horrendous for it. It's pretty rare that, I get in the emotional state of mind that I was today. Again, it's not like I was whining or anything, but damn, I was tempted to hit that buy button a few times right here. And that's fairly rare that happens. But it's just not worth it. And hopefully you guys watching me get my ass kicked by the market, and still, even though I'm very tempted, even though I'm good at reading TA, I'm a very good guesser at what's going to happen on the market statistically. Me not giving in a temptation hopefully helps you accept your outcomes, because the only way to be profitable, as you guys know, is be a casino. The law of probabilities is in your favor over the large series of events. In order for that to happen, you have to go through the streaks of unluckiness to be exposed to the streaks of luckiness. For every super unlucky day, there's an equal and opposite lucky day on the way, but you'll never get to see that lucky day unless you accept the unlucky day. And when you do that, the pullbacks in your account are going to be temporary pullbacks and not permanent reversals, right? You got to do it. If you're ever going to become long-term profitable, you got to get used to being frustrated at the market and accepting it and just leaving. And you have to trust that the law of probabilities will work its magic. Just like the casino has to trust that it's going to keep making money, because the casino has no idea whether the roulette ball is going to land on red or black. They just blindly trust that the law of probabilities are going to continue to be in their favor. It's easier for them to trust because they know how many, if I bet on red or black, I have a 40-something% chance, less than 50%. They know that. We know that the law of probabilities is in our favor due to our back testing and our historical performance. That's how we know. And you got to trust it. Anyways, market ended up doing everything that I wanted it to do once Powell talked, but I was in no state of mind to trade it. NQ got to the PT that I wanted to. And you know what? I saw them because I was messing around with my screens when this happened. I saw the market pop back up here, and damn, I really wanted to go long. Really, oh my gosh, I wanted to go long so bad. This was one of the most obvious things ever, especially by this candle here. Beautiful bullish liquidity sweep in demand and validated majority of the move. We have lower highs. It's strong. ES looks good. Textbook. Wanted to get in, but again, I know I was probably going to make money, but it's not worth it Because yes, I could have made a few $1,000 on just this, probably more than that. But that would guarantee that I blow up my account somewhere down the line, probably within the next week or 14 days. You know, within the next 1 to 3 weeks, I would blow up my account because I just reinforced the idea that, okay, it's okay for me to take a trade if I'm very confident outside of my trading rules. And do you think I would have, with the way my head was today, do you think if I took this trade, I'd be willing to stop out and walk away? I'd probably stop out, but I'd probably keep trading, right? So if I take this trade, yes, I could make money. I knew I was probably going to make money if I took it, but I also knew that I just lost the law of probabilities being in my favor, and now the law of probabilities is now against me because I'm reinforcing bad psychology and bad habits. It's going to bite me in the ass, and I'm now statistically guaranteed to blow my accounts eventually because I'm not able to follow rules. I'm not able to accept my outcomes. Of course, it did end up going up. I knew it would. You know, cleared high day pretty easily and went up. But, you know, was a good day psychologically, or a very good, a very valuable day. Watching this miss miss high of day, watching this run miss high of day and drop greatly reinforced positive psychology. When you look back and you, for example, you look back on your red trades and you count up how many of your trades would have blown your account or your options portfolio if you didn't stop out, that is great psychological reinforcement because that reinforces that what you did is the correct decision. And whenever you do something like that, for example, this, I saw it reverse and I saw the situation that this price action would have put me in if I gave into that temptation, it greatly reinforced what I ended up doing, which was the correct decision. That's how you need to be trading. It's not about money. You should be obsessed with what you're reinforcing while trading every single day psychologically. You know, once you learn TA, everything is psychological, and there's a lot of very complex psychological skills that you need to develop in order to become a successful and consistent trader. You need to do it. You need to obsess over what you're reinforcing more than your money. Most of you guys, well, probably not most of you guys because you guys are here in this server attending this, but most traders on Discord have been obsessing over money for years on end. Where has that gotten them? Where has it gotten you guys when you guys did that or still do that? Nowhere. It gets you nowhere. Years later, you're still fighting just to have a green week or a green month. It doesn't work. You have to change the way, you have to completely change your personality and change your perspective on the markets and realign it with the law, with a probabilistic state of mind. As seen in the Mark Douglas videos. But all right, that's pretty much it for this review. It was a longer review because, yeah, I was down bad there. I was in the trenches fighting demons, but made it out okay. Hopefully tomorrow's way better. I'll do my best, though. Type in chat, though. Do you guys have any questions with all that being said? Because that's pretty much it. Do you use moving averages at all? I do not. I have them on my chart. They're great. I loved using them when I did use them, but now they don't help me much. How do I know whether a trend day or not? RAR, because you look at price action and what has it been doing? And then you just hope it can. Really, how do you know it's a trend day? You look at the chart and has it been going up or not? Obviously, you know that. Most people, when they ask that question, they ask it in the context of, how do I know it's going to continue being a trend day? You have absolutely no idea. There's absolutely no way to know if anything's going to happen. You just kind of hope that it continues being a trend day. Statistically, it will if it's been a trend day. And watch the How to Day Trade a Trending Market in the TA course channel. Because really what I do is if it's been trending and I get bullish or bearish consolidation, statistically speaking, that consolidation is going to be a continuation pattern that's going to continue the trend for an unknown amount of time. And that's how I trade it. So has it been going up or down? Okay, let's wait for consolidation, like this trade on NQ here. Or this one here, which did end up breaking to the upside and continuing. And then you just You can use a fib extension PT or use a PT like I did, or just take the width of the flag if you want to be super conservative. And just hope it gets there. That's all you can do. But statistically speaking, the odds are in your favor if you do that. I've been doing it for years. The odds are in your favor if you do that. So you will win more than 50% of the time. But all right, hope you guys enjoyed this review. Thanks for attending. I will get these posted on YouTube hopefully later tonight. And yeah, if you guys need anything, ping me in chat. And we got psych lessons tomorrow and Friday. So hope to see you guys there for those. But all right, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully it's a better day. And if you guys need anything, once again, just ping me in chat.